What are you pointing for? What was
3,
that move?
2, we're live.
What do you think? You're in Hollywood with the point. Anyway, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Leather Podcast. I'm your host, Ronnie from New Jersey. With me, as always, my man Deuce, Jeremy, the producer. And we're here. It's Golficity Production, folks. But guess what? We got a new sponsor alert. New sponsor. Our friends over at Towel Tag are on the ITL train. So I want to welcome them, and I want to make sure everybody out there knows all about them. So I'm going to get right into a read. Here it goes. Hey, guys, the Inside the Leather Podcast has teamed up with our friends over at
Towel Tag!
This holiday season to bring you the ultimate stocking stuffer for every golfer in your family. Towel Tag! It's a beautifully constructed towel holder that can attach to any golf bag and is totally customizable. Color, name, logo, you name it, they can do it. Get that country club feel without having to actually pay for the country club. Head over to toweltag.com and be sure to enter code ITL to receive an exclusive deal. Buy 3 and get your 4th towel tag free. Towel Tag is on our bag, and it needs to be on yours.
Boom.
Folks, we are excited. We're going to have a lot of cool stuff coming in the pike with our friends over at Towel Tag. Awesome little company. Check them out. Follow them on social media, Towel Tag. Check out their YouTube, wherever. Just search Towel Tag and show some love. Tell everybody that you're excited that they're working with Inside the Leather. And, we're going to have a lot of cool stuff coming in. A lot of cool videos that we're working on right now for them. So we're excited about that. Folks, this is episode 45.
Yes.
45.
Nope.
No, correction.
46.
Correction. 46.
Yeah.
Well, I was right. 45 was thankful. We were thankful for things. Gobble, gobble, 45. This is episode 46. Who's number 46? Anybody?
46.
Any famous number 46 players in any sports?
Jerome Bettis, 46?
Jerome Bettis was 36.
36. Oof, off by 10. I don't know.
Way off on that one. 46. I got nothing. Jordan was 45 for a small stint.
TJ Watt, 46?
That doesn't help us.
46 versus President 45.
Oh.
How about that?
Who's that?
Who is President 46?
46 is coming in.
Do we know who it is yet?
Biden.
President.
Anyway, folks, if you're wondering who the hell the voice in the background was, that's our guest this episode. Let's introduce him now that he's coming into the conversation already. My man, golf instructor to the stars, our friend and pal. He's been on the show before. We had to have him back by popular demand. Our friend, Ronnie Del Barrio. Ronnie, welcome back to the show. RDB Tips, what's up, my man?
Top of the morning, gents. Just enjoying the nice warm weather in Cali.
Yeah, you are, and it's nice and early there. It's nice and early, so thanks for joining us on our East Coast time schedule frame.
He's been up for 5 hours.
Look at him. He looks fresh. He looks more awake than me.
Yeah.
He looks like a pot of coffee by 5
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. Ronnie, man, we got so much that I want to talk about. So much cool stuff came out the last time you were on the show. I mean, folks, if you don't know this guy, let me tell you something. You need to look him up. RDB Tips over on Instagram. He's all over. He's been in the golf game for an extremely long period of time. I mean, he's up there in age, folks, but he looks fantastic. Let me tell you something. He's 172 years old, but he looks better than me right now. Let me tell you something. He's looking slick and suave. It's that California living. It's that easy, laid back, not a worry in the world kind of living. That's what goes on out there. Here we're all stressed and pent up in the East Coast, and the damn winter's here, so it just sucks. You're a lucky guy. I loved it out there. Just so you know, Ronnie Del Barrio has just been he's been all over the world, this guy, playing the game of golf, teaching the game of golf. He's one of the best instructors in the world. And he coaches players, people that you've heard of. You've heard of a few of these names. I'm going to rattle off a few real quick, Ronnie. Stop me if anybody strikes you want to talk about them. Sly Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jack Nicholson, Denzel Washington, Larry David, Long Ball Larry. Now we know why he got the Long Ball nickname. Ronnie's going to tell you about it. Joe Pesci, Will Smith, Samuel L. Jackson, Damon Wayans, Smokey Robinson, Eddie Van Halen. Ho! Eddie Van Halen on a golf course. I mean, come on. Tommy Lee on a golf course. The names just keep going. Adam Levine. I mean, John Lovitz, Dana Carvey, Phil Hartman, Vince Neil, Jesus, Justin Bieber. You got Biebs in there. I mean, this guy spanning all types of decades. When you're talking about Smokey Robinson and then you end with Justin Bieber, stop it.
Yeah.
I mean, who else? Richard Dreyfuss, Joe Montana, Pete Sampras. You taught one of the greatest tennis players of all time how to swing a golf club.
Absolutely. I'm still teaching him.
And you're still teaching. That's phenomenal. That's just George Lopez. He must be a riot.
A riot. I'm
Yeah,
telling you.
funny guy. Kevin Costner. Now, some would think that he already knows how to play the game,
You'd be surprised when he started doing that movie.
right?
He didn't play golf. He was a baseball player. So I had to make him look like he had been playing golf for 30 years, which was tough.
But you did it.
But unfortunately, I had to make the old school swing look that way, and he can't hit a ball too far because of the old school swing.
I was just gonna say, so now he learned. So he basically learned how to swing a golf club for that movie, and it needed to be the wrong way to currently swing a golf club. And now does he play like that?
Unfortunately, we got so deep into it. We trained for 6 months, and literally, once the movie was over, I can't change that swing. I mean, he's addicted to it, and he can't stop doing what he's doing, which sucks, but that's job security for me.
That's it. Absolutely, no doubt about it. I mean, and the list just goes on. Alphonse Riviera.
Carlton,
for those of you who don't know, is it Rivera? It's Rivera. I said Riviera. Listen to me,
with the bay. Riviera's a good place too.
It really is. It really is a beautiful country club there. But no, that's Carlton, and we got so many people we want to. We didn't even name half of them. I mean, it's just the list. The list is amazing. So you've been fortunate.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Lucky
Let the people know. How does one become so synonymous with celebrities? How is it? Who was the first one, and how did it all kind of get like? All right. So who was the first one, and then when did it go bananas? Where it's like all of a sudden now all the. All right, go ahead. I'll let you talk. Just you got it.
So there was a guy that was doing a big Isuzu commercial campaign in the 90s. Joe Isuzu. His name was David Leisure, and he was also had a TV show called Empty Nest that was on NBC. But so it started with him at my spot that I've been here since the Spanish Armada in the 1600s. And once I started working with him, I came out with a golfing infomercial. I invented a golf training aid. And from that point, that was on TV like 300 times a week in like 1,000 countries.
Like QVC type of stuff?
It was like a half-hour infomercial. It was like everywhere.
Awesome.
Unless you were up at 3 a.m., you never saw it. But
I was. I probably ordered it.
One day, I'm at the range, and Smokey Robinson, who doesn't know Smokey, is hitting balls. So I get to stall right behind him, and I used to have these little caps, like for a gun, a cap gun.
Yeah.
And so I get to stall behind him. What I would do is lick the back of the cap and stick it on a range ball. Pow! And then he would have to turn around and look. Like, what the hell's that? So every time I'd hit a ball, he wasn't looking, put another cap on there. Well, there's the conversation. So we talked for about an hour. The next day, I'm here at the range. I get a phone call from him, and I'm like, oh, great, maybe I got a lesson. Or then I said, oh, shit, maybe I injured his ears. I'm going to get sued.
Right.
And so he says, listen, meet me at my lawyer's office in an hour if you can. I'm like, oh, boy, here we go. Show up to his office. Now, I'm a 7 handicap at this point. Seven handicap. He says, I'm going to give you a 3-year sponsorship deal to go on tour. I mean, first of all, who gives anybody a 7 handicap a sponsorship deal? Right?
That's amazing.
So from that point, Hollywood is Hollywood. It's actually not a big community. They're it's kind of small when it comes to that level.
It is kind of small. I can attest to that. Yeah.
It really is. Then Stallone comes in, and he takes one lesson, and then the snowball effect happened. I mean, from that point, it was Schwarzenegger. Will Smith, I was teaching from when he was on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air all the way up to now. And the thing is like, I've got this reputation, whereas I can see, and I have, and done, and I have things with these people, but I will not kiss and tell at all. So, and that goes a long way, actually, believe it or not. So
100%. You got to trust people, especially when you're not dealing with a president of a bank. You're dealing with like famous people, and you got to be discreet. You got to be able. They got to be able to trust you. That it's like being a therapist.
It's crazy. I mean, I've had people come up to the range with a suitcase. Sly and I in the 92, we were in the West Indies. He chartered this nice yacht for a month, and we were playing golf on all these islands. So about a couple months later, this guy shows up to my range with about a briefcase with $10,000 in cash. Sly and I, and there was some, that was in Cancun. And there were some topless girls because it was a beach thing, but it was, and he says, listen, give me the story about this. Here's $10,000. And I thought to myself, I'm either getting set up by Sly, which he wouldn't do it, and I told the guy, that he's got about 4 seconds before I take my 7-iron and hit him in his taint. because people want the dirt, and I will not do that online on air. But you guys call me later. I'll tell you fucking everything.
Yes. I don't know if I can be trusted with some of those stories, though, Ronnie. I might have to. I'm not good. I have to say on undisclaimed source. But that's also so Smokey Robinson kind of just said, "Wait, so was he disappointed when you stopped hitting the cap on the ball? Did he realize that wasn't real?"
What's crazy, I'm full of shit too. So like, I had a pretty looking swing, but I was still a 7 handicap. So okay, so when we signed the deal, he moves me to Palm Desert, gets me out of Los Angeles, hooks me up at the Mission Hills Country Club. I have a house, the car, the whole thing. And that first year, I went from a 7 to a +1, and started playing in the mini tour events. And my first professional win. I actually tried to get my entry fee back because I woke up, I was sick with a fever. My caddy said, let's go to the event. I'm like, nah, I don't want to go to the event. I'm sick. And he said, well, we're here. I ended up shooting 10 under for 2 rounds and winning it. So I call up Smokey, hey, we just won the tournament. Here's the money. He goes, just keep it.
Wow.
I mean, that was that.
That's awesome.
I remember that
You
story.
were like his thoroughbred. We talked about, folks, if you want to go deeper into that story, we went into that one in some real depth and detail. Go back to episode 18, and you'll hear that story in even further detail. But I just wanted to, for those of you who hadn't caught episode 18, I just wanted you to get a little bit of backstory. This guy's life has been absolutely insane.
Ron, do you remember episode 18? That's when the last time we talked on Skype. A long time ago.
Yeah, that was the long
18. We're at 46. We're at 46, Ronnie. I mean, this is bananas. Time is flying. Time is flying. Yeah, there's no doubt. This is Uncle Ronnie's on the horn, folks, with us right now. But this is great. So, folks, we got a lot of cool stuff coming with Ronnie in the future. We got a little. I'm gonna tease it now because I want to. We're going to be working on, inside the leather. As you can see, Ronnie right now is inside the car. We're going to keep this theme going, and we're going to bring to you episodes throughout the winter, folks. It's going to be Inside the Sim with Ronnie Del Barrio, and it's going to be amazing. He's going to be giving my fat ass some quick tip lessons for all you mid-level handicappers out there. Stuff that we're going to talk about, some stuff to work on at home during the winter, but we're going to be bringing you content from the sim. Ronnie's going to be Skyped in, giving me the business. I'm going to be hitting lob wedges for a month. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to really put the work in and show off my new game come 2021. I can't be more excited. So that's going to be awesome. So look out for that. But Ronnie, I got a couple of things I want to talk about. You being, obviously, feel free to throw in any celebrity stories at any moment in time. But I kind of want to talk a little bit to you from the, put your coaching hat on. How do you think a normal golfer should go about finding a coach? Is it strictly vibing personality? Is it philosophy? Is it because if you're a mid-level handicapper like me, I don't really have a philosophy. I don't really know what I'm doing. I just know that I can make contact. I can score in the 80s on a good day, low 90s on a shit day, mid 80s on a good day. That's my range. I don't really know how my swing is, good, bad, the other. If you're just a blank slate and you're looking for a coach, what do you think the best qualities are to look for?
Well, at any level, even if you're a beginner, intermediate, or a scratch golfer, the most important thing is the communication between the coach and the student, but it's also how you get along. So in other words, there's plenty of guys out there that cocky as hell, that just talk a good game, maybe not so good at coaching. There's guys that can't play the game that are amazing coaches, but at the end of the day, it's like, and here's what's crazy. People will come and take a lesson and they're intimidated. They don't want to say anything. Oh, I don't want to sound like an idiot. We work for those guys, right?
Right.
But,
yeah.
People think it's like, oh my God, you teach that guy and this guy and this guy. The idea of finding a coach is like, if you hate the guy's cologne, bail. If his attitude sucks, bail. It really is the personality between. And coaching is communication.
Yeah.
Nobody's reinventing the wheel. So if you don't click, like I have this policy that if I'm saying something and you're not jiving, tell me to shut the fuck up and I can tell you a different way.
Right.
But people just don't open their mouth. So that's why I like to break it up. I'm notorious for this thing. Just
right.
It's like, and because who I teach, like the guy that's on tour that I teach, that doesn't mean you're going to get better because I teach this guy.
Right.
It's really you and the golf coach communicating. And it really is that important. There's not one way to swing a golf club. Philosophies are completely different from coach to coach, but it really is how you all get along.
Yeah, so I coached high school football, little league football. I coach football, and I've taught a lot of people how to swing a golf club in my day. Just helping getting people started in the game. I know the basics. I know what to do, and because I have a coaching background, I know how to translate it and maybe dumb it down or speak in the language of the people that I'm talking to. Talking about people that know nothing, but I know the way I like to be coached, and that's like what Ronnie said. You got to know yourself a little bit. Playing football my entire life, I loved the coaches that screamed, yelled, cursed, scared the shit out of me.
Same, yeah.
That's the way I'm motivated. I'm motivated by fear. I'm motivated on this guy is gonna chew me out if I don't make this block. I better make this block. Like that's the way some people. They don't respond to that, and they want more of a hands-off. They want more of a sweet talker. I'm not a fan of it, but golf. I don't know how I land in golf. I think if you're on me and you're giving me the business, I think I might respond better to that because I'm I got to prove this guy wrong. Who you talking? This guy talking shit.
Yeah, I see. I think you have the
yeah.
He definitely has. I mean. For me, at least, and again, I do have a coaching background, and I still coach now. But you know what you want, and you know what you want to get out of something. How many people go into a lesson or go into a first time with a coach and go, "Hey, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I'm here for." Then the question is, then why are you here?
Yeah, you got to know what you want. You got to know what you want to get out of it. And like Ronnie said, you got to have the balls. And I get it. It's when someone's telling you something and you're not jiving with it, it's kind of like. Hey, guy, I'm not feeling this. It's a weird thing to say because you don't want to hurt the guy's feelings. But if you go to a range and there's only one pro there, you don't like that pro. I mean, find a new range. But that's a hard conversation to have, and that's where I think someone will get one lesson, not like the guy, not go back, and then prevent them from finding another coach.
Well, and that's the thing. I have a policy. At least I haven't heard anybody else that has this policy that. If you don't like the first lesson, whatever, I got a bad attitude, you don't get the instruction, you didn't dig, I shake your hand, it's free, and I'll help you find another coach because that's really important. There's plenty of times where I'm trying to give a lesson to somebody after a half hour, 30 minutes, I know they're not picking it up. Yeah. So I'll just say, you know what, this isn't working. This time is on me. Let me help you find somebody that'll click with because see that's important. So now do you have a stable of other professionals that you work with, colleagues, so to speak, that you might say, hey, look, this guy didn't like the middle fingers and the and the brass in your face RDB, but I know a guy like Pete, who's here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's kind of a pussy. He might work really good for this person. So you call Pete and say, Pete, Pete the pussy, I got a guy for you, and then vice versa. Is that something that you and other pros do, or? Well, after times with somebody, let's say a half hour, and I've been doing this since the Spanish Armada. I know my shit. But if we're not clicking because a lot of people are like, I want to just do a driver lesson. My irons are fine. Of course, I don't teach them because it's not about one swing. But after working for a little bit, if I know that their habits are too tough to break or they're not willing to follow my program, I mean, if they're not willing to follow my program, I'm not going to waste my time. Right. But I'll know that they're handsy and they were taught and they want to swing this way. I know other pros that have that type of method, right. And I have zero problems referring to another pro. I mean, there's 60 million golfers worldwide. I can't teach them all.
Right.
So
right.
It really is so I'll get their vibe. Some people are really, really mechanical. They want to know P1 through P10, which I don't know what the hell any of that shit means, but whatever. And so that kind of stuff, I got a set of guys that are really high tech with the TrackMan stuff. And so I'll send them that way. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's rare that somebody, because I'm such a great fucking chameleon.
No doubt.
So I'll get their personality the first 5 minutes and see how they jive. Some people are just so damn quiet that after a couple minutes, I know they're going to be resistant. So I'm like, hey, I'll tell you what, let me give you a couple of tweaks, work on it. But I don't think we're a fit. And I'm not a dick about it.
Right. No, I'm not. I don't think that you are. And another thing, it's like, I think a lot of people when they go for like a club fitting, they're expecting immediate results. When they go to a coaching for a lesson, they come in, they sit down with RDB, they spend $37,000 for a half-hour session with him because he's the guy. They're expecting you to fix everything in 30 minutes or an hour session, and it's not like that. It's a process. Like you gotta bill out packages and you gotta like work towards a goal and have a way to get there. And I think a lot of people in their mind don't don't really understand that. They're looking for that quick fix, and golf is not a game that you could do a quick fix in. It's just not.
With that, with the when people, and I get that, I have a questionnaire that I have people kind of fill out before they come in, and there's some trick questions like, are you willing to hit a wedge for a month only, no other club? Even if you have a weekly game, are you willing to not play that weekly game for a month? For starters, if you have the incorrect grip for my method, I'm going to have to change it. Will you change it? Any of these answers are no. I don't even entertain teaching them. Nobody has to take a step back. But if you don't put in the work, and I'm a big, I'm a dick about that. How dare you expect to get to my level where I had to put so much work in? So there's no shortcuts. But if they're willing to do that and open-minded, because my system is so completely fucking different from all of it.
Right.
If they're open-minded enough and they're willing to do that, and I insist that they have to practice 2 or 3 times in between the lessons, and trust me, I've been doing it so long, I know if they haven't even practiced once and they bullshit me, say, "Oh yeah, I practiced." So you would think that people would think, oh, maybe he won't record. Shut.
You've been doing this too long. You know, you could tell immediately. Yeah, for sure.
And again, it's not mean.
How would you sort of, you're seeing someone for the first time, they pass your questionnaire. How would you approach, teaching? What's the first thing you would do with them as far as, teaching wise?
Well, first I pick their brain. What is it you've been taught? What do you do with your swing? When you're practicing, what do you do? So I find out all the information I can, and it's so common that everyone has an overabundance of information, which sucks, but that's just the way golf is. So I'll see what they have mentally, like what their checklist is, and see what they're capable of physically.
Right.
Now, what I do, I never teach golf from golf. I teach golf from baseball, punching. It's the same kind of body motion. So when I start doing my bullshit, besides like, what did he just say? I film them doing some things that they're not aware of, and then when I show it to them, I'm like, oh shit, that's right. So I use a lot of video to kind of trick the brain a little bit. I got drills that make their body do things that they're not aware of. So it's and by the way, I make it fun because I'm not like the you see the ulnar deviation with the rotation of the xiphoid process. Get the fuck.
I mean, nobody wants a physiology lesson. I mean, not for nothing. This is like, come on.
And let me ask you guys: have you ever experienced any sport like? Oh, look at Mike Tyson's left knee when he's punching the guy in the taint. Look how he rotates. Golf is the only sport that does this bullshit.
Yeah.
Commentators on TV say, "Hey, you guys at home, make sure you do Dustin Johnson's thing." And this thing is like, boom, and the ligaments are torn. Jesus Christ, it's ridiculous.
I definitely feel you, and that's why we love you. And that's it's relating it to other sports is look. I mean, it's an athletic move. Golf is they're athletes. I mean, I don't give a shit what anybody says. Oh, they have to walk a couple of 5-6 miles. Like, no. This swing. I mean, look what it does to the bodies of these pro golfers. I mean, their backs are a mess. I mean, there's so much torque that they're generating. It's like pitching a baseball. You know how nobody realizes when you go outside and you're having to catch with your dad. That's not what pitchers are doing. Their entire body is distorted. Their elbow is back like this. Your arm is not intended to rotate like this. Hence all the fucking surgeries these people have. But they're considered athletes, but the golfers are not. Like, stop. Race car drivers and golfers get a bad rap because if you're not mentally and reactionary with a steering wheel, you're dead. You're dead. You're fucking dead, Ronnie. I mean, you're dead. You hit a wall at 220 miles an hour. Guess what? You're probably not fucking living. Like, that's, so it's like they're athletes. Their stamina is insane. They're in a car. They're peeing in their suit, because they can't get out of the car to go to a rest stop. Like, golf, you're out there on the course. You're walking leisurely from ball to ball. But that motion is so violent. And when you're hitting that ground, I mean, you're hitting the ball first and it's going far, but then you're going into the ground. That is a lot of torque, and that's a lot of pressure you're putting on your body. So they're athletes.
Especially if you're doing it wrong, it's really, really horrible.
It's even right, exactly, right. I like what you said about the tendons because I had a lesson. Nice guy. I liked him, but he was trying to break me down, and that's another thing that I think is kind of a little misconception. I see what you're saying. You got to be willing to work. You got to be willing to do my method, or else I'm not going to be able to benefit you. But I also think that a lot of it comes into price. Golf is an expensive sport to begin with, and then now all of a sudden you're paying, whether it be $50, $100, $150 a session, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, I can only afford 3 or 5 lessons Like, now, if I came to you and said, Ronnie, I'm willing to do whatever you say, but I can only afford 5 lessons, are you going to then tweak what you're showing me so I at least understand one aspect of your lessons until I can save up a couple dollars and come back for more?
Listen, sadly in my profession, there are some snake oil salesmen.
Right.
And what I charge, it's not a lot, $200 an hour. The caveat to that is that if after the first lesson, I will guarantee you that at the very least, you have a better understanding of what you need to work on.
Right.
Number one. And the door is always open. If somebody really comes up to me and says, like, I just can't, afford, I will absolutely work with anybody. That's how much I love this game. Now,
Yeah.
don't let that word get out.
Right. Don't worry. Nobody watches this. Don't worry about it.
But the thing is that, it's very expensive. But that should be the impetus for somebody to say, shit, I better put the work in. Because it's really not difficult physically, at least in my method. But if you're not willing to do that work, you can make a 1-hour lesson last for 4 months, because that's the information that you'll get, and you'll actually improve. It's not like you got to have lesson after lesson after lesson. That's not the way to go.
That's awesome. That's awesome. No, I can't answer that call. They know not to bother me right now. But anyway, so that's all. So all right. So your swing philosophy, we kind of touched on it a little bit. You're talking about motion. You're breaking it down versus, from an athletic standpoint. You throw a baseball like this. You throw a football like this. You throw a punch like this. Why aren't you throwing your golf swing? Why aren't you throwing the golf club in a similar fashion? Right. So is that basically your swing, your philosophy in a nutshell?
I'll tell you, I have people like even on the Instagram from across the world. They understand. Okay, a load angle, like you explained, hitting down on the ball, right? And that means that the wrist is bent, and the elbow's bent at impact, but how do you relate that to golf? So I'll have anybody. I had an 80-year-old woman try this. She's never swung a baseball bat. Hold a golf club or whatever, like a bat. Pretend someone's throwing you a pitch. Do a batting swing. I will guarantee you 1,000 out of 1,000 times without folks knowing it. At the moment of that imaginary impact, the right wrist and right elbow, if the right-handed, is still bent. Guarantee it. Now, people are like, well, how could you tell that? The difference is, especially with my method, is golf, we've all been taught to keep our head still and make the ball the finale. That's bullshit. My head starts my downswing. I literally start my downswing by looking at the fairway, which engages my lower body first, my upper body second. I don't have to think of that. That's involuntary. So the batting swing analogy is exactly what a golf swing should be, except you can't move your head. Bullshit. You have to move your head. And to that point, I haven't seen the ball since the Anita Bryant concert in 1974. So you don't have to stare at that thing.
All right. Right, and I loved seeing some of your videos, folks. Follow Ronnie at RDB Golf Tips
right.
on Instagram. He the content is phenomenal, Ronnie. You really take it to this Instagram stuff. You're doing pretty damn good of it. You got somebody working on your Instagram over there, or what?
I knew I got 7 followers. And
I'll tell you what, I really, really, really enjoyed watching when my man from Coastal Carolina, my alma mater, Dustin Johnson, won the Masters. I loved the videos that you posted because it was like, holy shit, he's doing because we call it the RDB now. When someone doesn't look down at the ball and they're looking down the fairway almost, or at least 6 feet in front of the ball as they impact it, right? We call it the RDB now. That's how we refer to it. And when you posted that picture of Dustin Johnson not looking at the ball at impact, I was like,
wow.
Holy shit! It's RDB told me that like episode 16, 17, 18, whatever the hell number was. But yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So make sure you follow Ronnie on Instagram, RDB Golf Tips. You're going to be getting some comical stuff. I loved when you hit the wedge off the cart path. That was fantastic.
So take us
It wasn't my club.
I know, that's why it was beautiful. That was a good video.
So Ron, a swing like Dustin Johnson's, take us through how his swing is, because some people will call it unorthodox swing. Take us through explain to us how a swing like that works.
Okay, so first of all, a golf swing is as unique as your fingerprint, period. So if we see Dustin Johnson, he's doing what he's doing at the top, that's unique. Unorthodox, whatever. I mean, Jim Furyk, unorthodox, I would love to have had his career.
Right, right.
It's, but the problem is that you have these friggin' commentators saying, okay, for you folks at home, look what he's, bullshit. No, you'll never swing like me. I'll never swing like you or you. That's the bottom line. People try and think that they're going to be able. I had a guy come in, I think, not too long ago. He was very large. And he said, I want to make my swing look like Fred Couples, and he looked like a couple of Freddies.
That's like me. That's like me.
The point is, right? I'm not saying it, Jeremy. I'm not going to smack him.
He's pointing at me while you're telling that story.
But at the end of the day, all these different looking swings on tour, in the hitting area, they're all the same. So it's not, it's how you deliver like you, Ron, or Jeremy. Like, how can you get that position? And you can't do anything else but you.
Right.
So that's why I don't analyze. People ask me to analyze Tiger swing. This guy, I don't know these folks. I don't know what their tendencies are. I don't know their coaches. I've been out there for 10 years with Jesper, but I still don't know what the hell they're thinking. I don't work with them. So I don't analyze a pro swing. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, so it's a fine line of taking someone's swing that they currently have, what's comfortable to them, not trying to completely change it, but trying to sprinkle in things that that you could make better if they're kind of doing it, your way. So it's a fine line. So there's a lot of instructors out there that could really fuck you up.
You just have the same motion or the same vernacular with all their students, and
I heard, I also. Right, no, and there's another, and there was another thing that I saw that you posted that I thought was really cool, that you talked about, how come you don't post instructional videos on the internet? And you were like, well, first of all, been there, done that. I'm a vampire here. I did that, 57 years ago before there was an internet. But you got like 5-6 million hits on all your stuff. The training aid that you talked about that you invented already, you've done that path already, and you said your response to the guy's question was, well, I don't do it because not everybody's different. Like, I can't show you one thing and say, don't do it. Like, not right. It's just not. That's just not the way it works. So, folks, get out there, find the right coach, mesh with the personalities, and don't be afraid to tell him he's an asshole if he's an asshole. Don't be afraid to tell him that you don't understand because they're the pro. They know what they're doing. If someone came to me and said, hey, Ronnie, let me tell you something. This is how you got to eat your steak. That perfect example, Ronnie. When I order a steak, all right, I've changed my ways a little bit as I gotten older. My taste buds have changed. But I was always a butterfly, well done kind of guy.
Ew.
Right? And I've always been this big. I used to be at 5-star restaurants eating a $150 steak. And I'd tell them, butterfly that shit and well done. The waiter would look at me like I was an asshole, first of all. The chef would come out and say, all right, we got okay, you got this, you got that, you got the chicken, okay. Butterfly well done on your steak? Or I don't really recommend that. Hey, cuz, look at me. I'm 300 fucking pounds. You're going to tell me how to eat a steak. I know what I like. Just go back there and make it. Like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like similar thing. It's like
you still
can't
eat it like that?
No, I don't still eat it like that. Now I'm medium plus. I'm medium plus, like
medium
California.
Rare. Come on.
Ronnie, I came back from New Jersey. I had to live in California for 10 years, and I went to a restaurant. I ordered my steak medium plus. The guy goes, plus what? I go, what? Plus a minute, plus 30 seconds. Like in between medium and medium well. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory, you jackass. But anyway.
Like a chef wants to do it his way. No. Like there used to be a bunch of pros here at this place, and I'd have people come up, like, how do you pick a pro? And I'm like, Go to the other pros and ask this question. Hey, that guy down there, Barrio, he says he's the greatest fucking teacher on this planet. Now you'll get two responses. One pro say, I know what he teaches. That guy sucks ass. Right. Or another response would be like, no, that's not possible. He can't be the greatest because I am. Pick that guy. Right. Because if that pro thinks he's great, he's passionate.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, there's snakes everywhere. There's people think that they know everything, and you're gonna get that. But you got to just find the right person. Find the person that you mesh with and you want to spend time with because it's a process. It's not a one lesson. It's not, and that was, the lessons that I got at this, at this place was, he was literally trying to make me swing like Dustin Johnson. He had me cocking the elbow, and I'm like, dude, that feels so unnatural and uncomfortable to me.
And not only the ball's not going anywhere.
I was losing things. I was all of a sudden, I'm slicing the ball. Like, I was just like, look, get out of here, guy. Yeah. Get out of here.
That's bullshit. When you hear that, he's going to rebuild if somebody's going to rebuild your swing, run away.
Right. That's what they said. That was what they said was you have to be willing not to hit a wedge for a month. You have to be willing to suck at golf for a year in order to get better. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm a 12 handicap, right? I'm a 12 handicap. And do I really want to balloon up to an 18 just to get down to a 10?
Yeah, it makes zero sense.
And you don't have to, right? I mean,
it's not worth it.
The whole thing is that you don't have to do any of that stuff. Like, those questions that I have in my questionnaire, I don't think in 28 years I've ever had somebody do that.
Right.
It's just kind of a test for me. Like, if they're not nobody's hit a wedge for a month. Well, Will Smith is, but nobody's hit a wedge for a month or was willing to not play golf. Go ahead and play golf. But it's a test for me to see if they're willing to be serious about them.
Yeah, right. I think, and that's my biggest fear, as someone, and I think we talked about this in episode 18, but I've never gotten a lesson, and my biggest fear is because I think I'm going to go to somebody and they're going to say, okay, do this, this, and this, and it's not going to work.
Yeah.
And why would I want to deviate from my plan, what works for me, to do something that doesn't?
Especially when you're already a decent golfer, and I know if I clean up my wedge play and my putting, I'm going to be in the single digits because I do make good contact with the ball already. Right. And I know I'm coming over the top. I know I'm not swinging on the right plane. I'm not coming from the inside out. I'm coming too steep. I know I'm not enacting my body at all. Right. The fact that I'm swinging all arms, head down, no lower body rotation whatsoever, and I'm still hitting a 220-yard 220-yard hybrid. I'm still hitting my 7-iron 160 yards. Like, I can only imagine if I actually engage all the right shit, it's gonna get ugly.
But you see, you're already fucking pre-trained.
I know.
That's over the top. Let me tell you something. I've seen guys shoot 64 that look like a broken clock. It doesn't. I mean, but that's the whole narrative of instruction. Like,
right.
You got to do inside out. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Just stop.
I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. And Inside the Sim with RDB is coming to you live. You're going to be able to see this guy working his method on me, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I'm going to be so nasty next year. I'm going to be beating Jeremy. I can't wait. So, Ronnie, give us, how much time we got? How we looking on time?
38 minutes.
Oh, this is beautiful. Are you okay? You're good? Are you all right over there? You sure? I don't want to piss Larry David off or anybody. I mean, he's the best. Oh my God! So, all right, Ronnie, give me 3 drills. Ronnie, what are your 3 favorite drills? Like, maybe those beginning drills. Let's not get into too advanced stuff. Like, what's a typical type of drill that you think will help someone kind of understand your method a little bit and feel good.
Okay, so for starters, it goes a little bit more into that. But let's say you're a 20 handicapper.
Yep.
Just have no chance of ball contact. If you have to understand that the equipment is designed for us to trap the ball between the club face and the ground. Okay, we get that. People I use my hands, I'm coming over the top. The easiest thing to do, and I don't care if you're a scratch golfer or 20 handicapper, with a pitching wedge, just do your normal setup. Take your right thumb and your right index off the club, make like a pretend gun. It's got to be straight, and start hitting some balls like that. So normal grip, thumb and index completely off. But it's got to be straight, not wrapped around the shaft, just dead straight. You're going to find things of your body movement that you didn't know existed. And believe me, because when the brain senses that deficit of leverage from the hands, it says, well, shit, I can't use these things. All of a sudden, the muscles start to work. Like throwing a ball, you need to be languid, right?
Right.
And for starters, if you have the wrong grip, you got no chance anyways, because think of throwing a ball from your palm, no chance.
Right.
If you're not holding the club correctly, but outside of that, take the thumb and index off, and I promise you're going to feel things that are completely different, and you'll be surprised on how much the ball count will improve. Mm-hmm. Then, let's say you get used to that. People have a problem compressing a golf ball. Thin. I'll have to do normal setup, normal pitching wedge, normal takeaway, full speed. After impact, stop the club literally 2 feet after you hit the golf ball. Full swing, but stop right after impact. Within 3 shots, they're compressing the shit out of it.
Really?
The same reason. The hands and arms, or your brain's telling your hands and arms, they got to stop 2 feet after impact. Guess what's going to happen? Your body then is going to deliver the club and not the flip, but you have to stop 2 feet after impact. Guaranteed compression.
Let's stop there. Those 2 are perfect. Let's get people working on those. Hit me in the comment section what you think of those 2, and that's perfect. So now let's hit. So. Can you do we have any drills for indoor people, for our Northeast people that are in the snow that can't actually get out to golf in the winter? Is there 1 or 2 drills that you like to kind of do in the garage? You can kind of do with a shovel when you're out there pretending to shovel the driveway. Your wife, you're looking for a little bit of alone time. I'm going to go shovel the driveway, and you're out there doing something with a shovel. Are there some drills in the wintertime that can kind of keep, obviously you're not going to keep you really sharp because you're not hitting a ball, you're not playing golf, but at least keep the swing kind of loose so you're not all like tight when you get back out there?
I'm going to give you 1 drill, and it's the only drill you'll ever need.
Give it to me.
In the season, or let's say the season's over and you go to the range. You do this, which is, without a ball, it's fine. Get your normal grip. Before you take the club back, you're going to do a full swing, full speed swing. Hum audibly and do your level best to keep the same tonality. And I'll guarantee you, if that tone changes, that's when your grip pressure changes. You come over the top. All the bad shit happens. Try a full swing, keeping the same tone audibly. You'll know exactly at what point your grip and arm pressure changes because the diaphragm's going to stop you from humming.
Wow.
That is going to be the same thing. Your bigger muscles are going to start to do it because you'll feel like I'll have people hitting balls like that, have them hum. And before impact, the squeeze happens, which all of a sudden that self-preservation mechanism kicks in. The body won't keep moving it. And that'll be where you start using the wrong hands and arms at that position. Wow. If the grip and arm pressure never changes, it's like throwing a ball.
Wow. So, all right. So you're you're just in your garage, just swinging. Beautiful. Oh, I can't wait! I'm fired up. I'm gonna go loose. I gotta get the diaphragm working. I got what was it? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. I gotta get in tune here. That's awesome.
Coffee nervous. Oh my God, I love this.
So, Ronnie, I gotta take a quick second here to do one more read, and then we'll wrap it up here in a minute. Hey, folks, at the Woodist official, we fuse hang on a second here. At the Woodist official, we fuse fashion and nature to create wooden watches that are handcrafted for life's adventure. Head over to Etsy.com and search The Woodist Official. That's TheWoodistOfficial. And be sure to enter coupon code ITL20 for 20% off. Folks, it's Christmas time. It's gift-giving time. TowelTag.com and also our friends over at Etsy.com, The Woodist Official. Buy your golf for a nice watch and a towel tag, and you're done. That's it. That's all you got to do. Stuff a stocking, hang your towel tag from the Christmas tree as an ornament. Do whatever you got to do, but get to these people and help them out. Etsy.com, The Woodist Official, and TowelTag.com are two sponsors, and we love them both. All right, Ronnie, so what we got? We got Inside the Sim coming soon. We're inside the car right now with RDB. Sly Stallone, Joe Pesci, and Larry David. Those are the three that I want to just kind of touch on here for a minute because you've posted videos of all three of them recently on the on your. Those are stories, right? You're not, but the Sly Stallone one I want to start with. Sly, I'm a huge fan of Sly, obviously, and we talked a lot about him. He told a bunch of stories. He did a little infomercial promotional video for you the other day. Tell us about that story. How'd that come about? All of a sudden, I'm going through my Instagram feed, and I see Sly Stallone telling everybody about RDB golf tips. Was that planned? Did you have to pay him $2 million to do a 30-second ad spot? I mean, what happened there?
Let me tell you, okay, he's got 3 daughters. He's more hip on the social media there than I am. We're doing the lesson, and that wasn't on my story. I have it on the actual, whatever.
That's actually the page. Yeah, you're right. A post.
And so as I do with everybody, filming the lesson, and he said, hey, come on. Come over here. And okay, what's going on? He says, hit record, and he goes, hey, I'm here with Ron. I'm like, I've known you for 25 years. I said, no, 30. He says, I'm your father. 25. And I didn't know what, but okay, cool, that's great. And the mask thing, so I looked like I had some, whatever they call the thing from my neck.
Oh, an ascot. You were wearing an ascot. You were wearing an ascot, like you're an aristocrat.
I mean, you think I would have worn that if I'd known. But so he says, hey, listen, I'll do the post thing. I'm like, yeah, cool. What does it mean? You can send me a fucking video. That thing got 46,000 likes.
Oh, it was awesome. Right.
And so he's more hip. I just got like 15 million followers. He's more hip than I am on that whole thing. So he actually schooled me for a sec, and we haven't seen each other for a minute. And now he's so addicted again, which is pretty damn cool.
He's back in it. Cool. He's back in, and he's got a nice swing. He's got a nice swing. He really puts a little bit of punch behind that muscle there.
Well, and we're changing it because we worked for 9-10 years back in the day. And, he's just the same size. He's ginormous, but he's really flexible. But better yet, he's got such great spatial awareness of what he asks of his body and the pictures that he and I paint that it's not going to take him a second, but to get really back in it. And he shot 76 at Wood Ranch with his Lowe's round with me, which Wood Ranch Country Club out here is tough nails back in the day. But these guys, the A-listers, they want to also look good, obviously, right? So the form that he's looking good, I mean, it's the same movement. He's really, really a solid thinker.
Yeah.
And he works on his golf swing.
So has his swing changed from the first time 9 years you've been working on him, and then the break that you guys took?
Well, okay, so we started in Cliffhanger. We were in the Italian Alps when he was filming Cliffhanger. That's awesome. He never touched the golf club, but he was doing the pole thing. So in the first year or two, it was pretty, because it was all about, I'm going to kill this thing. Boom. and we got. By the way, I was probably a shitty teacher back then too. I was just finished playing professionally, and I screwed up people for 2 years. I mean, playing and teaching is two different things.
Yeah.
So we did what we did, and we built a pretty good foundation. Then, he had the nerve to go do 28 movies and not golf anymore.
Yeah.
So the fundamentals that I taught him back then are still the same.
Right.
And this go around, like he's so cerebral. Like he's getting so much better. He just finished filming a movie, I know, in wherever, Georgia, and he was doing swings, sending me videos. Like, what do you think of this? It's like he's so engaged, and he's gotten so much better with his golf swing because he thinks that way.
Right.
Now I'm thinking, when I'm thinking Sly, I'm thinking Rocky. Obviously, as we all know, he's a lefty. But does he play golf lefty or righty?
All right-handed,
Wow.
and he punches right-handed. And trust me, he punches.
Oh, so the whole southpaw for Rocky, that was just for the movie. He wasn't. He's not actually a lefty.
No, he's right-handed.
Oh, look at that! Yeah. See, we're uncovered. This is like TMZ. We're getting the dirt. We're finding out what hand fucking Sly Stallone does his stuff with. All right, that's cool.
Most recently, if you're my age and don't know who Sly Stallone, he was in Creed.
He was in Creed.
Yeah,
you know what Creed is?
With Michael B. Jordan.
Right. Creed is Apollo Creed, which was a character in Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, he died in 4, so I guess he wasn't in 5 and 6. But no, Apollo, and then Creed, and Michael B. Jordan is the son of Withers, right?
Yeah.
What's his first name? Carl Withers, right? Wait, was he on your list?
I think.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. Anymore.
No, you didn't coach. Okay. But no, that's it. He was a phenomenal actor. I love Carl Weathers. So so he was Apollo Creed, and then the Michael B. Jordan the new movie, that's Sly too, right? Sly's got a piece of that, right? That's his stuff.
I'm embarrassed to say I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's got to be. I mean he owns everything for Rocky, so he owns the rights to the characters. There's no doubt in my mind. I know he was in the first one. So anyway. I haven't seen the second one yet. I got to see the second one.
Pretty good.
But that's good. So, all right, now wait. I want to talk about 2 more people. I want to talk about Joe Pesci. All right. Again, folks, go back to episode number 18 to check out the in-depth talk because we did 2 episodes. We talked for 2 hours during COVID. I was in my basement. We had to literally cut the episode in half because there was too much good shit. So we go into depth of all these people, but because they're recently working with you again, you're posting some stories and videos and posts about them. So I just want to bring Joe Pesci, for those of you who haven't seen the other episodes yet, is one of the greatest golfers, apparently, on the planet. He has the best short game, better than Phil Mickelson, which, watch that video because I lose my shit when Ronnie tells us that. But you posted recently a couple of swings. I guess you must have did a lesson. You did a couple of swings with him. And I got to say, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how smooth his swing was. And another thing that I noticed with the people, the videos that you post, and not just celebrities, just whatever videos you post of swings, I notice it doesn't look like they're swinging hard.
Yeah.
It looks like they're swinging almost too slow. But it's all the impact, the body's activated, and the ball's going, right? Because you're a big guy. Your swing speed, it doesn't really matter. It's the contact. If you're making good contact, smash factor, right? You're making good contact. You don't need to swing that hard, and the ball's still going to go 300 yards. So tell us a little bit about Joe Pesci's swing. I know his short game is his next level, and how's he looking now as he's creeping up there? I mean, he's getting up there in age, but is he's still swinging the rock, huh? Still swinging the clubs?
Pesci, we've been friends for 30 years, and his game, his swing, like I was saying about earlier, that everyone's got their own swing. Strikes the ball so damn solid. And, I mean, he's actually, I think maybe I didn't mention, he gave me the greatest short game lesson, that I've ever had. I wish I had it when I was playing professionally.
Wow.
This guy's a wizard. He's a surgeon, especially when it comes to the short game. He can do shit that I've never seen a touring pro do. And I've been 10 years out on the regular touring championship. This guy is just amazing. He's got a great eye. He knows my swing inside and out. We've been hanging out for so long. But he really, when he needs to get up and down from an ashtray, I promise you he will get up and down. You don't want to ever bet against Pesci.
And he could throw a quarter on the green and he could hit it with a wedge. Oh, wow.
He'll do stuff that I didn't even think was humanly or physically possible to a ball, but he calls it.
And he calls it. Oh,
Most impressive thing on the planet. I mean, I
that's
trust him
awesome.
giving me lessons. How's that?
That's awesome. That's
Didn't
phenomenal.
you say he was chipping with like left hand low or something, like something crazy?
Well, no. I mean, yeah, he putts with a sand wedge only.
Right.
And he'll out-putt Mickelson or anybody else on tour. He doesn't putt with a putter.
Unbelievable.
I mean,
Neither do I. Neither do I.
Oh, yeah, we got a video coming out. We did a little 9-hole challenge. We did a little, I pulled every hole that I won. I got to pull a bag out of Jeremy's bag, a club out of Jeremy's bag, and I pulled the putter out a couple times. So all he ended up doing was, well, you'll see. You got to check out the video to watch. But he's been putting with he's getting real good with the wedge putting.
See.
But Pesci is just a wizard. He's got the good hands. He's smooth, and I gotta say, I was shocked watching his swing. I was like, oh my god! And then I saw Sly's swing, and I was like, it doesn't seem like they're really swing. Like when you see someone like Justin Thomas or Rory, like it looks like they are, or Bryson, like they're literally trying to smash the cover off the ball. But when you're people you're teaching, it just looks fluid. It looks easy, and the results are what they are.
Physics involved in golf. Look, I'll be 55 in a minute here. My average 7-iron is 185. I don't have muscle strength. There's lots of physics, but at the end of the day, it's the equipment is designed for angles. Period. End of story. Clubhead speed. Like if I always tell people, the faster the club, except for the driver, the more clubhead speed you have with any club on the ground, the shorter you're going to hit. And they're like, that's not possible.
Right.
And the point is, the faster the clubhead speed you have, there's less angle coming into the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's so many people like I hit my 7, 6, and 5 iron the same distance,
right? Because
there's no angle. You're just smacking the damn thing. So
that's me, Ronnie. That's me. My 56 degree, my 52 degree, my 48 degree. They all go about the same distance when I swing a full swing.
Well, the thing is, as it pertains to golf and the human body, why it looks so slow with myself and all my students is because people make the ball the finale. I'll ask people, where do you want the most speed? They'll say at impact. No, most speed should be 5 feet after impact.
Yeah.
Right.
When you start painting these pictures, like with the batting swing analogy, the angles are the power. It's not how I teach. It's how the equipment's designed.
Right.
So when I go that direction first, then they start, wait a second, but I only hit this wedge this distance. I'll make a full swing, stop 2 feet after impact. It adds 15 fucking yards.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing. We're pumped. We're pumped up. And then the last one is Larry David, Longboard Larry. Those you know him, co-creator of Seinfeld, and obviously Curb Your Enthusiasm. I mean, he must be a riot out there. I mean, he's so deadpan. He's so sarcastic. I told the story on episode 18 when I ran into him at an alley. I was at a restaurant. I was working at a restaurant. And I literally was walking him out to his car, and he just messes with people. He messes with people to make himself laugh. I'll tell that story real quick. So I'm walking out with him, and me and Larry are walking to the valet. I'm making sure he gets to the valet, and I'm bullshitting him. I'm an actor. I'm trying to get on the show. I'm obviously trying to impress him a little bit. I'm walking with him. Guy walking with his girlfriend, walking towards us through the alley, and he stops. He goes, "Oh my God, Larry David, I'm a huge fan." Larry doesn't even stop. He keeps walking. He says, "Yeah, I know. You told me that 3 times tonight." And the guy turns around. Larry just keeps walking. Walks past the guy. And I look back at the guy. I'm like, "Whoa." And Larry, the guy goes, "Larry David's such a fucking dick." And Larry had a big smile on his face, but he never let the kid see it. He kept walking. So that kid's going to tell that story about Larry David being a dick for the rest of his life, and Larry thought that was hilarious. So Larry's just a cool guy. I know he plays at Riviera. He's a big guy over there. My friend Joey Ippolito caddy for him quite a bit here and there. He was like his alternate. I know he had his normal caddy at Riv, but my buddy Joey Ips was his backup. Whenever his caddy wasn't available, my buddy Joey would get him. So tell us about Larry's swing and that relationship. And is he curb your enthusiasm inside the bay?
Let me tell you something about Larry. So if you've seen any of the stuff that I post on Instagram with Larry, the one thing that stands out is he starts his downswing with his head, like I do.
Mm-hmm. His swing looks like your swing. I mean, you could tell. There's only one person telling Larry how to swing a golf club.
And the thing is like, he's 74. He can't weigh 140 pounds.
Yeah.
He's been averaging 260. Now, this is amazing.
Yeah,
come on.
That's insane.
But Larry is really the most optimistic person. No, he's not. Get the fuck out of here. Like we had a breakthrough a couple weeks ago. He was here on Saturday. Yeah, he came here on Friday. And yeah, I'm hitting the driver good, but I'm not doing the thing with the iron. I'm like, let's go back to lesson 48C in 1690 when I told you to do this, because he does the same thing. Like, some guy at the club said, I'm like, well, fucking pay that guy at the club.
Right.
I smack him for a second, and he gets it. But let me tell you, this is the funniest thing on the planet. He'll leave like 40 yards from my stall to his car. He'll call me. Oh man, that was the greatest lesson on this planet. I'm sure I'll lose it before I get to the first tee today. literally, I mean, I start sending him messages like, what was it the other? Oh, he started getting happy. I'm like, don't fucking do that. You're gonna ruin your reputation. Don't be happy,
right?
Because he's not acting. But he'll shoot 79 occasionally. And it's like, but the next round he'll shoot 700.
Right.
But that's all seriousness, he won't practice. We started that 11 years ago. I knew he wouldn't practice, so we just built a swing around those pictures. And he doesn't practice, by the way. So, but I think it's fantastic. But he loves the game. He just absolutely loves the game.
Yeah, I mean, he's phenomenal.
Oh,
he's one of the best. He's one of the absolute best. Everything about him is just phenomenal. I'm a huge fan of his. And and that's it. I mean, that's it. I mean, we got the lesson in the garage. Work on that one, right? Work on the hum. We got the shooter with the grip, right? And the other one was the stopping 2 feet after impact. Stopping the club right there. Those are tips, folks, from our man RDB. Ronnie, I'm excited. We're going to end this episode here, folks. We're going to jump off and we're going to jump in the sim.
Yeah.
We're going to try to get a quick lesson in. I know Ronnie's got deadlines. I got my phone's blowing up here constantly. So we got to end it here. But folks, we appreciate it. Do us a favor again. Be sure to check out and follow our friend RDB Golf Tips on Instagram. Search for his YouTube videos from back in the day. They might still have them up there, But they guys, it's just a great guy, Ronnie. You're the best. I appreciate you coming on. Yeah, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Much, and don't ever call me again.
Don't go too far. We're gonna call you about 5 minutes in the simulator. All right, thank you, brother. Take care, Ronnie. All right, so folks, that was it. That's our good friend RDB Golf Tips, golf celebrity instructor to the stars. I mean, this guy's he's the best. He's all over the world. He's just absolutely phenomenal. He's nuts. He's out of his mind. He's entertaining. We love him. He's like Uncle Ronnie. I absolutely love this guy. I can't wait to get out to Palm Springs and go visit my brother and my buddy Joey Ippolito and meet up with my man Ronnie Del Barrio. I can't wait. Holy shit, he's the best. But folks, that's it for us for episode 46. We appreciate you joining us again. As always, subscribe, like, share, tell your friends about the show. Don't forget to head over to TowelTag.com and buy yourself and the golfer you know and your family, your whole foursome. Get that fourth one free. Personalized towel tags. And the Woodest official. Get a watch and a towel tag. You need to do it, folks. And do us a favor, as always. Keep it inside the leather.